Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Looking for My Fit podcast. I am your host, Jamaica, and y'all, we're back with another episode in our series, Women Who Went For It. And today, y'all know I say this every week, but you know what I've realized is I just hang around some dope women. I just know dope people. So the excitement that I have at the beginning of every episode is so real because these women are dope. Today, I got one of the realest, and I'm going to tell her something that she doesn't even know today, but this is my girl from, you know what, Nkeru? I don't even know how to pronounce your new last name. So I'm just going to say, we're going to welcome to the podcast, Nkeru!
You are funny.
Well, you know, I probably could have covered that before we got on here, but is it Froneberger?
You got it.
Oh, I do have it. I was like, they might not be pronounced the way it looks phonetically.
You got it.
No, I'm feeling great.
Even if you jack it up as you, I'll give you a pass.
Okay, I appreciate that. Well, Nkeru, welcome to the podcast, girl.
Okay. Thank you. Glad to be on here.
Okay, let me start out with telling Nkeru is now the owner of her own realty company, business. She's about to be a real estate mogul. You know what I'm saying? She's out here killing the game. But before we get to that part, let me give the backstory to how I know you. I know you got to remember this. I've been saying this on some of the other episodes. There's nothing wrong with vulnerability. God has been breaking me over this last year to be like, what you're not going to do is keep glossing over stuff and not processing, not feeling things. So he been hitting me hard. You know, so the tears sometimes flow. But you, even though you and I are friends, I don't know if you really understand the impact that you had on me. Okay. Oh, God.
Oh, go ahead. We got to do this. Let's do it.
Okay. You helped to change my relationship with God.
I don't want to cry on this podcast. I don't want to do this.
Okay, let me put myself together. But also, let me take off my fake glasses. They're going to get fogged. Okay. So here's where we are. I was raised in the church. And my parents, always had us in the church. So I was not, God was not new to me. I've known God all my life. Always active in church, Sunday school, vacation Bible school, Bible, going to different Bible studies. We were always involved from a small town. So it's like a small church, felt like a family church. So I always knew God. Like that was always a huge part of my life. But when you become an adult, you have to kind of like take it on for yourself. Your parents do all they can do, and then you leave the house, and then it's up to you to keep fostering that. And so Carlos and I were here in Charlotte, and we hadn't really found like a true church home, like a place that we felt like was a good fit for all of us. And at the time, we were like kind of church hopping, looking at different churches and things. And Carlos, his school got invited to Elevation. And I had been fighting. People had invited me to Elevation, but I was like, I don't do big churches. I'm from a small town. I'm used to certain things. Like I don't do big churches. Well, anyway, they invited the football program, I think it was, because they were giving them like a scholar. They were giving them a donation. He's like, hey, we got this going on. You want to go? So I was like, yeah, I'll go. So we get there. From the moment we pulled in the parking lot, I was like, who are these people so happy to see me? All these people waving at me, smiling. From the minute you pull in, it is like Christian Disney World. I was like, man, I know they got to have like cotton candy and stuff. In the reality is sometimes Elevation does. So we get out the car, and I love hospitality. I'm so huge on hospitality. Get out the car, and because you think it's a big church, it wouldn't be this way. Because people know each other, they knew we were new. And the first face my first introduction when I got out the parking lot was you. And you were standing at the orange tent, and I remember you leaned over to the side. You were like, "Hey, girl," and I was like, "Hey, girl." I was just, hey, well, I'm just coming there just for to watch the kids get the athletic program get this money, and y'all like, "Hey," and you walk us all the way in. You're talking. I felt like I had known you forever. You're like, "Well, let me go in here and get you set up." You helped me get the kids set up. You walked us back to drop the kids off. Then you took us to the door, and you're like, "Girl, my name is Nkeru," and I was like, "Oh my God, like I feel like I've been on you." And then you're like, "Well, listen, you come back and you see me after this is over." I'm like, "I'm gonna come find you." So then we sit in there. The sermon is fire. Atmosphere is fire. And I'm looking, because Carlos is now set with the team. I'm looking for him to be like, "This is the church. This is the church." And I had been fighting Elevation because I said it was too big.
That was me.
And girl, I went, but it was, if you hadn't greeted me like that, if you hadn't created that atmosphere, I don't think it would have lent itself to that. I think I would have went in and been like, "Oh, like this was good." But I don't think I would have been so revved up and ready to receive it had you not set the atmosphere. Girl, church was ending. I went from, I don't want to go to a big church, to yeah, I'll go, to where is Carlos. I left out of that sermon and came and signed up to volunteer that day.
Yes.
Hey, I found you at the tent. I was like, "Okay, I'm ready to volunteer." The next one, I had to go to the little thing, and within 2 weeks, I was out there greeting people. "Welcome to Elevation, y'all." I'm out here in an Elevation shirt greeting the people. But that was just, man, I don't know. It was something about that, and just getting back involved in the church, not just going to church, but being involved in the church. Just, it shifts your relationship. And so I felt like as an adult, that was truly the first time that I took responsibility, that I dove into, my personal relationship. And that had everything to do with you and how you greeted us. Yeah. And our team was fire. We were 8 weeks. We had a banging team.
But what was so real about our team is we were real. That's it. We were human. We were real. We didn't put on this mask. We were just us.
Yes.
That's what made such an amazing impact for our team.
Yes.
And I knew when I saw you, I was like, "Okay, she got to be on the team. She got to be on the team." The energy.
Girl, and there I was standing at the tent. I was like, "I'm ready to sign up today." And then because I signed up, Carlos was like, "Well, I guess I signed up." Carlos went to get on the parking team. He was probably one of the worst people on the team, but he was there, God. He was there. We're gonna give him an A for effort.
While we over there on the sideline screaming.
But I was like, "Okay, he ain't the best Parker, but he's here, God." But it lent itself to, Jordan going to Youth X and meeting friends there, and, children's church, and then being excited about going to church. And so we could all get excited because we could come as we were, and everybody had somewhere to go. Yeah. It was something there for all of us. So I don't know if I've ever told you that, but thank you, because that was huge for me. Yes. Look, slide up just a little bit so I can hear you a little bit clear. I want everybody to hear everything you got to say.
Really?
Okay. So a couple reasons I wanted you on here is we met at church, and then eventually, schedules change, lives change, certain things at the church changed, still at the church, but like just our team didn't stay together. Some people were still there. And then I ended up going to, I don't know, everybody moved around. But you and I, we have stayed in touch.
We have.
And it don't matter where we see each other, we gonna pop a U. I'm like, "Is that Nkeru?" I know she saw me flashing these lights. She better meet me back at this. It don't matter where we see each other, it's live and it's a party.
Always.
So when I saw you, it was a couple years ago. Not too long. I don't know, Nkeru. How long have you been in realty now?
5 years, but what's funny is I think it was at a gas station.
We were. We were.
That's when you start your fitness journey, and your passion, how you just jumped out there. I'm like, girl, let's do it. And you're like, you're killing it in real estate. Let's do it. So I think at that point, we have always been each other cheerleader. I'm like,
always.
Go for it. And you're like, you need to go for it. We got the personality. But I think one thing that you and I have in common is that, the energy behind our work.
Yes.
Seriously, that's what has made room for us, that we are very passionate about what we do. And, and that's when you're passionate about it, you have no choice but to move in excellence. You have no choice, because it doesn't feel like a job. It's like, hey, let's do it. Let's get this done, because it's a whole another level. So when we get together, that energy and that fire is just there. Whew. Because we love what we do.
Yes.
We love it, and we want to, see people do and improve their lives. And it's just not, hey, this is just something we do. No, we like, hey, let's do it. Let's go all the way. That's just us.
Yes, and that's what we do. That's what we do. That's who we are. Y'all, I'm not lying. Nkeru and I have never seen each other and not been like this. This is the energy. When we got on this before we hit record, we in here. Wow. I'm like, okay, wait, girl, let's go ahead and hit record. Wait a minute. Even if it's through a text message, a quick phone call, it's always live and lit.
I'm telling you, the excitement behind the text, so you're right.
Well, so what I want to hit on is that when I saw you at the gas station that time, when we first started talking about it, we were both just getting started. I'm just getting started in fitness, getting certified. You were like, girl, I'm doing real estate now. And I was like, oh, I can absolutely see you doing this. So let's run through it. Tell us how you began in real estate. And then I'm just going to let you go. I don't even want to interrupt. I want to know how you began in real estate and went from dabbling in it a little bit to, oh, holla at your girl. Can y'all tell me which sign should I be using for my real estate company, please? Thank you.
So it all started about 15 years ago. I wanted to do this, but honestly, I associated real estate with greed. I struggled. And you talking about elevation. Elevation actually taught me that it's okay to be wealthy. I struggled for that, with years for that. I struggled. I'm like, hey. So I associated real estate with a negative concept, which was, oh, they greedy, they this and that. So, so what made me? I was like, I like it. I want to do it. And I, purchased my first home, and the experience just wasn't what I thought it would be. So I went through a divorce. Girl, that's what woke me up. So I went through a divorce, and I'm trying to figure out life. What is the next chapter in my life? And when I tell you, God is such an amazing God. We serve an awesome God.
Yes, we do.
I can remember I can't even tell you how I paid for my real estate course. I cannot tell you how I paid for it. So I went through a divorce, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to real estate school. I'm going to do this. So it was a chance for me in my life just to say, you know what, let's get it. Let's go. So got into it, studied, heard all these negative vibes, reached out to another real estate agent I know. Hey, I think about going to real estate school. What's your opinion? Oh, girl, it's tough out here. This test is tough. And I'm just hearing all this negative energy at that point, hearing all this negative energy. And I was like, you know what, God, what you have for me is for me. And that's my motto. What you have for me is for me. Went to class, passed it on the first try, and been going straight for it. But what I had that's just how I got started. But as I got started, I started looking in the mirror. So I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm looking at everybody else. I'm looking and I'm seeing what everybody else is doing. And I had to have a talk with myself. And I'm like, what is it about me? What makes me different? Why do people want to buy real estate with me or sell with me? And I realized it's because of me. Yes. Bottom line, it's because I am personally. And secondly, just the investment I've made into becoming an expert in the industry. So when you're passionate about something, it's easy for you to learn and seek more knowledge. You're like, you want to know everything. So that's the difference about someone just being in real estate and someone having a passion for real estate and understanding the business for it. So I'm like, every book, every course, I spent the first 6 months of my real estate. I got my license in July, didn't have my first transaction to November. I did that on purpose because I wanted, once I stepped out there, I wanted to be known as an expert. So it was no longer about, oh, she's cute, she has a great personality, but it's like, no, she's a businesswoman and she's professional and she has the knowledge to make it happen. So I took that time. I'm always learning. I'm always improving. When you stop learning, you're dead. That's how I feel.
Yes.
So I'm constantly learning. So that's it started from that. Work with a couple firms, and I had again every year I'm doing a self-evaluation, like, where's my business? What is this in my business? What am I, So I decided, after really analyzing my business, and my husband is joining me. That's a little secretive, but after analyzing everything, I realized that people need to see real people. People need to understand that just being real. I just had to realize that what is it about me? Why do people buy and shop with me? Why do people trust me with their real estate transaction? And I realized it wasn't about a big ticket brand. It wasn't. It was me. And they trusted, they like me, they trust me, and they believe that I could get it done. So
also, before you go on, I want y'all to know she got remarried, because you said you got divorced, you like my husband.
So I remarried my new husband, who's been my friend for 20 years.
That's a beautiful story too. I was like, what?
He's been my life partner for 20 years, but he encouraged me. It took some prayer. It definitely was a scary thing for me to consider, because I had a lot of people in my ear that says, no, you should do it, or no, you. Then I had to go back to my source. I had to go back to my prayer room and realize that this company was just not about my personal real estate transaction, but it also was providing a platform to encourage and motivate a lot of women in our society, to show them whatever you put your mind to, you avoid the distraction, the noise, and you follow through your passion, your path. God didn't just lay this on my lap for me to take it for granted. So it's like, hey, you're going to go all the way with it. So developing Froneberger Realty wasn't just, hey, let me sell real estate. It was, hey, let us be a reputable company in this real estate industry in Charlotte, but also provide a service of value. So it's not just, hey, we're going to sell real estate. No, provide value, because we need to empower our society. We need to empower women. We need to empower other people to know what is the right way to do real estate. What is it? And understand that the healthy relationship between a realtor and what they have for their clients. And
what had happened was, when you start talking good, you see that resistance starts to show up. But not today, devil, not today. We're going to get all of this goodness from Nkeru today. So we had a little glitch, but guess what? We back. And I know exactly where we were when we hit that little glitch right there. You were talking about the importance of empowering women.
Yes.
You can pick up from there and carry on, my friend.
Yes, we live in a world of fear. We don't shoot. We have all this amazing talent and ability, but we talk ourselves out of it. So I realized opening up this firm was just bigger than, hey, it's a real estate firm, but just understanding that it's also someone moved away from fear. I moved from fear. My story led me. If you look at my story, you're like, oh, how did she get there? You trust God and you just move forward. And that's what this does for me. And that's what real estate has done for me. It allowed me to walk in my purpose, my gift, and it aligned it. So God don't make any mistake. The reason for my personality, the reason for my brains, the reason for this, he equips you with more than enough. So sometimes we feel like we're just not enough. But you're like, because you're operating in the wrong, first of all, in the wrong energy. And second, if you're operating in what's not in your ministry. We're too busy. Oh, we want to do this. We want to do that. We want to do this. Operate in your lane and perfect that. Perfect that. When you operate in your lane and you perfect it and you master that, I'm telling you, that's me. That's what happened. I got it, understood my purpose, went for it, and I was real, and I've been authentic to me. And I don't look at everybody else in here. I look at me. What can I do better every day to improve me?
Oh my God, Nkeru, I want to scream right now. I want to scream because you are dropping. Okay, let me back up real quick before I even let you go off, because I want to scream. I don't want to forget nothing. One, again, I was telling you before this about the program that I'm in, just about focusing on your purpose and finding your calling. I knew I had to accept, and it sounds, I had to break you were saying like you felt like it was hard for you to accept that God wanted you to be wealthy. I had to break the whole chain of what humble really is.
Ooh.
I think, oh girl, we will abuse the word humble in a second. And so, I think I've processed humble throughout my life is you never say good things about yourself. You don't share the wins. You don't, you just go through and say, oh, that little thing. And like, no, because I'm a representation of God. God is in me and he is not little. He didn't call me to be small because he's not small. And I had to, and I still am, but I'm getting more and more comfortable. Let go of that mindset.
Yes.
So what I've accepted is just like you, I would be like with certain situations, I don't know why people are drawn to me. I don't know. But then I realized that's the gift God gave me.
Yes.
I have an ability to connect with people from all walks of life.
Thank you.
I have a lens that I look through, not a lens where I don't see color. I don't know. I see all of it.
Thank you.
I see the color. I see what's different about you. I see what's unique about you. I see that. And God has given me an ability to see those things and to find a way to connect with people. And I know it's not me because in my soul, for real, people are going to say you a lie. I'm an introvert. I got an introvert.
I say the same thing. Yes. My husband that the other day, he was like, what? You? I'm like, I really am.
Yes, girl. I'm like, I have an introverted spirit. That's the real reason. I know this is nothing but God. That when I say introvert, like I'm not shy. I ain't never met a stranger ever. I can talk to anybody if you're willing to open your mouth. I might talk to you if you don't open your mouth. So I'm not that. It's not shy. It's just that like the way I recharge or a good day for me is in the bed. Don't nobody talk to me. I watch TV. I eat cake. I mean, like that's an exciting day for me. So the fact that God has given me this ability to talk to people and to be able to make connections with people, that's not me. That's God.
It is.
And so learning how to step in that and how to use that. Other thing I wanted to touch on is for somebody who's listening, I need y'all to clearly listen to what Nkeru just said. It's about your lane and where you use your purpose. I keep talking about it, but for real, y'all, this program I'm in is so fire. Please watch it is the truth. But she said you might have the right gift in the wrong place.
That's it.
So sometimes you are doing something and you say like, this ain't it. This ain't what God called. No, you know the calling. You know what God has put on your heart. You're using it in the wrong place. So before you go tapping out, get quiet. Let God download to you to show you where you should be and who you should be around. Because then when you'll know. You get that peace, you will know. So I just want somebody to really tap into that. And last but not least, before I let you carry on, I knew, I'm not even gonna lie, I ain't a prophet. I'm just saying, not even in my spirit. I just knew because I know you. I knew you would end up having your own. I was not surprised in the least. Not in the least. When you saw me, you started talking about, you like, girl, I'm doing real estate now. I was like, what? I can absolutely, we were in the parking lot at church. I can absolutely see you doing real estate. Yes, you are. Then when we met when we ran into each other again at the gas station, you were like, girl, I tell you, the way this stuff is coming my way, the way this is rolling, like, this is crazy. I said then, oh, she will not be working for anybody else. She will have her own thing.
And I'll be honest with you, that was not my goal. That's why I know that was not my goal. I was like, okay, I'm just going to be real estate. It was not my goal at all to start my own. So when I tell you, when you start walking in your calling and God start opening up these doors and you start understanding who you are and your confidence is built, when you're walking in your lane, it builds up. But you said something about what our fear. Fear is where we don't need to be at. You're like, oh, I can't move in my lane because we're so comfortable. Fear. And not being prepared and not planning. And it tells you, write your vision and make it plain. Sometimes we operate in our gifts, but we never write the vision and make it plain. So how do you got to align that? You got to align. You got to understand what is the purpose. And if you stuck at that job, you're like, oh, fear. You know why? financially, you've been making bad decisions financially. You can't leave your job because you so bound up in debt. So you can't walk in so you got to say, okay, how do I provide an exit plan? How do I leave? Or what is it? Is this serving a purpose for me still? But we operate in fear, which keeps us from moving forward, and we're comfortable. Fear and comfort is a destroyer for us to walk in our purpose. So when you understand, like, hey, I need to go ahead and get some things in line. Let's plan this out. How do we go? Where do I see myself? And then you start building up that spiritual muscle and that confidence, and you just walk.
Yes.
And my thing that I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I struggle. I'm a perfectionist, and I struggle. When I tell you, you can't operate like that. You got to move. I love excellent. I realized that excellent does not mean perfect all the time. And that's me. I didn't know how to differ. I'm doing excellent, but I'm like, I'm trying to be perfect. But perfect also keeps you from moving forward. So I don't do nothing. I'm like, it has to be done. And next thing I know, my girlfriend pops up and it's on Instagram. Oh, you live now. Froneberger Realty was not supposed to go live until I had everything, all the website and everything in order. And honestly, went live, and God's like, okay, now you can move. Like, you got to be pushed out there almost to the water. So, I'm drowning. Let me go ahead and move, because I'm such a perfectionist, and that's a blessing and a curse at the same time. So sometimes you got to leave being perfect and just be in alignment with what God has for you.
Yes, and also clarity comes in the doing.
That's it.
The more you do, the more you learn. If you look at this with even if people go to the YouTube page to see this video, you'll see me at my kitchen table. And then you will see me in what really looks like a closet. And you'll see me with this background, and it's still my closet, but we done spruced this thing up. It looks like a little studio now. But also you'll see the progression in the videos where it was just a plain zoom, and then it was something with a background, and now I got this whole overlay. This stuff came because I've been making steps. And so every time I do it, I get another thing under my belt that makes it clearer.
Thank you.
So you just have to keep stepping in. Perfectionism, though, for real though, Nkeru, is fear in disguise.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're scared to make a move. So guess what? No, I got to make sure I get this. Oh, I would, but I got to make sure I have that. No, I am as soon as I get. You never have it.
You're right.
Never. So you got to make that sloppy progress. You got to be cool with stepping forward and figuring it out at the same time. And once you get out there, that confidence builds. And then you are willing to, not only are you letting go of perfectionism, you're willing to take some more risks.
Thank you.
Mean that you already stepped out there and you see how stuff is going, and you're like, well, you know what? Why?
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. Seriously. So the more I do now, the more confident I feel in what I'm doing. And so people just need to step out there. Now, so we still don't know, how did you get to, I'm working, because you were working for another company. And now, if you're looking on YouTube, you see the name behind her. She got the name behind the head, y'all. Got the name behind the head, y'all. You see the scrolling here at the bottom. Got a website and everything. Come on now. Come on, guys.
You are a mess. So how did I get to where I'm at today? That's Jackson. I just it actually came from fear again. I'm like, I'm okay. I love the past firm that I was with, great firm. But I was my broker in charge told me at that point, hey, I'm not getting my South Carolina license. So I was actually working with two firms at the same time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my South Carolina license. It's called broker in charge. I was like, I'm gonna get that. So once I got that, I sat back. What I do is I do a business analysis every year to see where I'm at, where my business is coming from. And I talked to my husband, who was just like, you need to go out there just like you. He knew I need to be a broker in charge. And so I set the facts before me, and I realized, and I said, okay, I'm doing a market analysis, and I realized what my strength was, which was leadership. Leadership and motivation. Girl, you got that. I was like, oh. And I also defined my weakness. I said, okay, these are some things that I need to improve on or get a team. That was so I realized, hey, let me outsource some things so I can be better at what I am. which I realized that I was a natural leader. Never would have, I'll be honest with you, they just let go. So I'm like, okay, you're a natural leader. When you open up this firm, you have to lead people to be their best and motivate people to be their best. And people need me in their life, and I need them. So the areas of my weakness, I need a team to come together to do this for me, and I need to be also motivating them. And I realized we needed this in real estate. We need this as a real estate. Real estate is a tough market. As you have to constantly stay motivated. It's not a business. You generate your own business. It's not like I'm just throwing, you generate your own business and you realize who you're with the end. So I tell people all the time, like, how do you get your deals? I get my deals because of who I am. I can't, that's it. I'm knowledgeable. I get it because of who I am. So now it's preaching a platform when you see all these top producers and you're like, oh, they're doing all this marketing, they're sending stuff in the mail. And I'm just like, that's not me. So I had to be able to push and show other people, just be you, be organic, be human, know your stuff and move forward. So that was another reason, like, it's more of a coaching platform for me when it comes to real estate. And it was just, hey, just gonna be your husband and I. And God's like, nope, it's not gonna be just you and your husband. Nope, you're gonna open up this platform to be a blessing to other people. It's not just me and my husband. It's gonna be my husband and I. And God's like, no, but that's so selfish. That's not who I designed you for. You're supposed to share this knowledge. Drop it on them. So it was. That's what really led me. Like, it wasn't just, oh, you got to drop it. You got to be able to empower and help others and bring them along with you. You know, as a society, we don't do that. It's like, hey, I'm going to keep all the information to myself. But what good is that? What good is that? We got to share. We got to empower. We got to move forward. And we have to understand where everybody positioned. You know, just because you're a leader doesn't mean that you don't follow sometimes. So I need a follower. What my weaknesses is that I need a follower, and I need you to help me grab me along, and I need to grab you along. That's just the way. So that's it. That's how I started. I put some things in perspective. Got the number. I'm a numbers girl, so I had to like make sure it made sense and realize what my goal was. And it's more importantly empowering other agents to be the best that they can be in the real estate and set the mark. And am I making out? No, it was just like, hey, put these things in perspective and allow room for growth. That was one of my words was like, hey, limitless. That was not word this year. I'm like, okay, you got to allow room for growth. You got to start, like he was telling me about your podcast, it's going to look different. Mm-hmm. Me starting real estate where I was at 5 years ago and where I'm at now, I'm a different woman. I'm more confident because I have more knowledge behind me. So it's building that platform, but if you allow fear to keep you from moving forward, you'll never be able to build. You're not perfect. So I just do things now. I'm not perfect, but I strive for excellence. That's the difference.
Yeah. How did you push through let me ask you, we're talking about fear. Did you have fears and insecurities about stepping away from the firm and creating your own?
Oh, oh my goodness. Absolutely. I'm getting on a plane to go to Africa. So I was in Africa for 2.5 weeks. And I'm getting on a plane and I'm just like, I'm doing this. I'm really doing this. I'm working with the brand manager, trying to get my logo together. And at this point, I'm still fearful. I'm doing this. And I have to tell you an interesting story. So I got everything together. I mean, everything was coming at me because, again, I'm trying to be perfect. I'm like, the website got to be up before I tell anybody that I'm starting my firm. For weeks, I was still under my own firm. I would not let anybody know because I'm trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I had, honestly, like as much as I may have it together, I had an anxiety attack. No lie. I'm going crazy the day before. I'm having an anxiety attack. So I got this young lady to update my social media. Is not my thing. So I realized it's to outsource some things. But I got this young lady to update my cover page. And I didn't know she did it. I said, hey, we need to update it. But I was like, hey, we'll update it when I do the website. She updated it. And next thing I know, so I had anxiety attack the night before. So that next morning, I was like, you know what? Before I went to bed, I said, you know what? God designed this. Why am I stressing about this? Move forward and stop in excellent. I had total peace, went to bed, was done. I get up the next morning and my girlfriend sends me a text. She was like, congratulations. Nobody know about this firm. I didn't tell anybody. And I was like, what is she talking about? How she know? Let's blast it all over social media. So brown. And I'm like, what? But that day I was in tears. I have a message from her and I'm literally responding a voice to text video and I'm crying. I'm crying my heart out because here I go trying to be perfect, trying to create this whole boom launch. You gotta launch. And God said move. So I didn't even know she changed my cover page. And God said move. And I looked on my Facebook page and all I see is congratulations. I knew you could do this. You're amazing. You're going to rock it. You need this. So when you're talking about fear, when I tell you Facebook family is my people, it's my people. But what they see is somebody who's real and not perfect and that they went for it. So when I tell you, I literally was in tears. And next thing I know, because God, my girlfriend cash at me money. And I was like, what is this? You can have this back. She said, this is a love offering.
Wow.
But what struggle was, and the money, the amount that she cashed at me had a meaning behind it. She didn't know that. But I connected that actual amount to a situation that had me bound. It was causing me to have anxiety. To this day, she doesn't know that.
Wow.
I tell you, when you move on purpose and you move in the right direction, God has a way of overcoming. So yes, fear, every day. When you're looking at yourselves and you're looking at this, fear comes, but you move forward in excellence. That's all I know to do. Move forward to who I am and trust the process. I say affirmation. I have it on my computer every day. I go back to my affirmations. I speak life into me. Your words are people don't realize how much your words mean and dictate your life. So I speak and I'm constantly reinforcing positive energy into my life.
Yes.
So that's what it kills the fear. When you're like, hey, I praise you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. It's like, fear just shuts down. Some days I'm so stressed out. I'm like, thank you, Lord. I mean, that's the only words I can say.
Yes.
In the next 5 seconds, I'm like, I'm good. Let's go with it.
Yes. I'm over here. I have like chills. It is so true. Like God didn't ask you to be perfect. Who told you that?
That's correct.
God didn't say that. He said move. If you just make a move, I got the. And I'm telling you, you know how sometimes situations will come together and you'll see it. You can't see everything that's going on behind the scenes, but God is working. He's like, you move, you think it's just you. I got so many things going on behind the scenes that when you get to where you're going, everything you need is already going to be there.
Girl.
All the experience that you need, you're going to have it.
You're going to have it. And you're just like, resources start coming your way. Like, it was just training here, meeting people, just with someone the other day. And I'm just like, randomly, hey, just been nice to her. Next time we're talking about development and real estate. It just, you never know who you connect with.
Nope.
So you just go on and I'm telling you, when you just move, things just start aligning.
Yes.
And you protect, like I'm so big on, and I keep saying it, I'm so big on energy, because when you are moving, and you have to think, like we was on this podcast, the devil has a way of coming in. Mm-hmm. And you gotta say, I got to protect me. And as we're going to go back to this, as moms, as leaders, entrepreneurs, we have so many things coming at us that you got to step back and say, sometimes, I'm going to chill. And it's okay for me to chill and not feel guilty not doing nothing.
Oh, rock out this chair. I'm about to rock out this chair. Sometimes God wants you to just be still.
That's it. We're just missing that. We're busy. Just be still.
That's what I heard today. You're not stuck. God wants you to be still for a second.
Thank you.
And know that it's okay to rejuvenate. Well, look at how you didn't set me up for the segue. You didn't throw me the alley-oop. You didn't throw it. I didn't call it.
We do. And then, mental illness is real. Just being not taking care of yourself. And that's me. When you care so much and you deplete yourself. So you got to understand, who are you giving your energy to? Who are you spending the time with? And that was another thing for me that was hard for me to learn. But I'm like, hey, you come at me, I got to focus. Like, I can't let you cloud my brain up with this negativity. I know things do exist. I know we do live in, we got Corona, got all this stuff going on with our life. But I mean, what did God say? I'm looking like, what Go back to the source.
Go back to the source every single
That's it. That's
go
it. That's it. Go back to the source, and it's not because you're an entrepreneur. Because you're living in your purpose, don't mean that you're not gonna have days when you doubt.
Yeah.
And you figure out how. Okay, I got this going on. I'm doubting. How do I go back and figure out? Okay, what do I got to do? So affirmations are important to me. I say it every morning. I have these scriptures that I have every morning.
I think some of that the doubt comes from too. Touching back to what you said about staying in your lane, it's easy to look around.
Yeah.
Doing this and he doing that and they doing like, no, I need you to focus on you and your calling and your lane. But also, the thing I wanted people to see during the Women Who Went For It series is how they got there, because a lot of times we see the end result. I want it now. I want what you have and I want it right now, not seeing the time, the year, the months, the years that go behind it, but it's just about being consistent. So you're sitting here now with your own firm right there behind your head, but that is not where you started.
It's not.
Everybody's listening to that. It is about making those steps. So don't look at somebody else's success and use that as a reason to doubt what you're supposed to be doing. No, because you don't know the full story behind that person's success.
They don't see that I might have one client for 3 months. You don't see that. Or you don't see that I might be up to 12 o'clock at night writing contracts. You don't see that my phone may be ringing, all times of the day. People don't see that. You got to also be committed to what you're doing. And I am 100% committed. I only work with 4 or 5 clients a year. At a time. I won't work with more because I know when I started this firm or before I started real estate, I knew when I was going to do this, I said, hey, I need to be available to you. It was important for me to be available to you. I never chased quantity. I chased quality. So I always wanted my clients to feel that they were the only clients that I was dealing with. Every client that I've had, you call them up, they will tell you, I didn't think you had anybody else. It was just me. Because that was important for me. That was the foundation for me. You have to feel that because I don't feel like I received that when I was purchasing. So that has been the foundation of my business. I am here for you. So people don't see that. Yeah, what happens when, your phone is ringing? What commitment level are you willing to give your business?
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm highly committed to my business, but also know for me to be effective, I could not deal with more than 5 at a time right now.
Yeah.
So a team. I can deal with you, and I always wanted that personalized experience. That was true to my brand. It may be different for somebody else's brand, but that's what is my foundation of my business. And that's what's been going on for the last 5 years. That is the foundation. That's important to me. If I can't have that as a part of my business, I don't need to do real estate. If I can't have that, I'm done. It's away the core. That's my core. And I need that. That's my motivational factor. That's what keeps me going, is to know that I'm actually serving. It's my ministry. I tell people all the time, it's your real estate company, but it's my ministry. I knew God called me to this. So if I take that out of it and we chase money, girl, I'm done. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Chase purpose, not money. Chase purpose, not money. Oh, yeah, girl. But buying a home is such a huge thing. And so I need that to be personalized. Not only do I still know, I'm going to tell you, so the lady who helped me and Carlos when we were looking and helped us when we were building our house, that was the best experience ever. I felt like we were her only clients. I knew we were not, but we bought this house, let me see, probably 17 years ago. Do you know, I called her recently because I needed a question. I was like, hey, when you took us through this, I can't remember what I was asking about. When I called her, she remembered me.
Thank you.
She remembered me 17 years ago. I said, this is Jamaica Richardson. She's like, wait a minute, Carlos' wife. Hey, I'm like, you can remember, and at the time she was doing the same thing. She was working for another firm and now she has her own. But I have no doubt that's why her business grows, because she gives that. And so I know that's what you giving, because when I went to church, I was like, clearly she's getting ready to walk into service and sit down, because she cannot be giving anybody else this type of attention. Let me save her a seat so she can come on sit down. I'm the only person at church right now. I mean, and that feeling matters.
It matters. I'm telling you.
And then you don't even have to do boosted said, look at this real life happening, because my children only need to show me something when I'm actually doing it. They'll never care about. But good job, baby. This is real life, y'all. But no, seriously, that all of that stuff matters.
It does. It does. And I tell you, that's it. When you know you're walking in your purpose, it does matter.
Well, my daughter walking in here to show me something that has no significance right now, but when the doors close, they know I'm recording, and now everybody needs to ask something. So let's segue into motherhood, Nkeru. Good gracious. What do you need from me right now that's so important? We need to talk a little bit before we hit record earlier, just talking about the quote unquote balance of it all. When there's the last week's episode, have a girl named Taylor, and we talked about boundaries as mothers. So as part of my calling, and I don't know, again, I'm just being obedient. I don't know what will end up coming out of this. I just know that if I can get people in here, and it just lined up with the guests to share their experience, I just want to free somebody. Like this, what we're talking about might not be for every woman who's a mother. It might not be. So I don't want people, oh, that's not my story. That's fine. Like, I'm not called to serve you. I want you to listen to the podcast, but you're not necessarily the person this message is for. But I just want to free somebody who feels like she has to put her dreams on hold because she is a mother. And you don't have to do it. You do not have to do that. It makes me mad. We talk about women. I know my call is for women. I love men. I got great men in my life. My husband, my brother, my daddy. I'm raising one. So I'm not, anti-man, but I am very much like empower the women, empower my women, because we come up against stuff that a lot of men will never have to come up against. If a man goes to achieve something, how often do you think they're getting asked, well, how are you going to balance fatherhood? And nobody asks that. You a guy, you go do it. But if it's a woman, you're like, well, how will you balance that? And what Taylor said last week, she said, I didn't know where she was going with this, but it was so funny. She said, we talked about you have to create boundaries for yourself.
You did.
Boundaries, you make the space for yourself. You don't wait for it to get created. She said, so what I say is make a list of all the things you have to do. I really thought she was going to say, and then, you schedule that in. She said, you make a list of everything you have to do. And whatever on that list don't make you happy or really not help you work to your goals, cross it out. I said, she didn't say check it off. She said, cross it out.
She's right.
Cross it out and make room for yourself. The best thing, and I'm going to let you jump in because you were hitting on it and I was in here. I said, stop talking to Kira. We're going to save it for the podcast. The best thing I've done for my children is to make room for me, because it gives me joy. It gives me peace. It allows me to be fulfilled. And then I'm not burned out. I'm not tired. I'm not worn down. There are certain things that I'm like, I'm not doing. My kids are going to be well taken care of, but there are certain things they don't need me to do. It's just you'll tell yourself in society like, oh, well, this is what a mom does. And I'm like, no. What you seen the little thing on TikTok now? Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm like, no, I don't do that. And my kids are well-rounded. They're going to be really good. Now, we love our kids. I'm a great mother. And I feel like I'm a great mother now because I make room for me. So I'm handing the microphone over to you. How are you making room for yourself as a mother and a boss?
You got to make room for yourself. And one thing that I did as a boss, you do got to, why? Why are you doing this? That's what I had to realize. I wrote that down when I first started real estate. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose? Why? And then when I wrote down my why, and then everything else kind of aligns with it. So like she told you, you cross things off your list that does not lead you back to what? Your why. So as a mother, I had to realize, okay, one thing I'm not going to sacrifice, real estate or not real estate, I need to go on vacation. So I'll be honest with you, I take vacation every 3 months. That's me. That's what I do. I don't care if I go down. I take vacation. That's important to me. I need to escape. I need to rewind, and I need to get back to it. I need that. That is my lifeline. I need my vacation. So my children understand that. So that's and self-care and just your mental health and me doing my affirmations. That helps me every morning. Me read my scriptures and just stand in tune. As a mother, I had to realize I have an older son, 21, and I have an 8-year-old. So I had to, that's a big gap, but I had to realize I have to set time for them. I have to schedule them into my day. So understanding, hey, this is your time. This is mommy's time. And don't feel guilty about it. I'm going to do this. This is our time. You know, this is it. This is our time. We can do this, or on the weekends or certain days we can do this. And I set those calendars so my kids have the expectation of knowing we have this. Mommy has me on Tuesday nights or Friday nights or whatever nights. This is my time. My oldest, I had to understand that I was letting his decision making was consuming so much of me. And what I had to do was release it back to him and say, this is your life. This is your decision. This is you. Mm-hmm. And when I started taking care of myself, I'll be honest with you, my kids are happier. My husband is happier. I took control because now I'm not running around. Oh my God, this has to be done. This has to be done. Yep. I'm in alignment. My energy is flowing. So when your energy is flowing right, your children, your husband, everybody's able to release you. But when you give so much of yourself, you're depleted.
Yes.
You're depleted. You're like, oh, I'm being a good mom because I'm taking a little Billy here and there. But you're depleted. You have all these activities for your children. They really don't want to go. They don't want to go to all these different activities. Girl, you don't have time for that. So when you think about it, you have conversations with your children and say, hey, this is what I want you to do and this is what you should do. But if you can't do it, source it out. Family member, husband, it doesn't have to be mom. Some days I don't want to cook. Guess what? We're going to eat out today. I don't want to feel like cooking. I don't. I'm okay with that. I'm not a bad mom because I don't feel like cooking today. It's real because if I'm depleted, I can't give you me. Yes. And they deserve me. And also limitation that I had to put, I work, like I keep telling you, I work with a certain amount of clients. I set the expectation. I cut it off. You got to do that. You got to understand work-life balance. And I think a lot of us, when we're successful, when we're business going, we're going. We don't take vacation. We don't take time to go get, especially mom, go get your hair done, nails done, whatever you need done to make you whatever you need to do. We don't take that time. It's scheduled. Just like you're planning for your next client or schedule some alone time. This is the time where I'm going to sit and watch TV or read a book and do nothing. Like we were talking about it earlier. I will some days I just like, you know what? I'm shutting it down 7 o'clock. I'm in the bed reading my book. I don't want to, you want to eat dinner? Is there served? If not, then we'll do takeout. But I didn't feel guilty about that.
No.
I told you, if you're depleted, your children feel that energy. They feel it. They don't want to be around you because you're mean, you're angry. And you're like, oh, but I'm going to be a good mom because I have the food prepared and I have taken you to your soccer practice. And I've done all this stuff, which is nothing wrong with it. But again, align some time for you and what's important to you.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm telling you, because now some days I do have busy days. You know what I mean? Like, so the other day, Carlos had a lot of stuff going on because sports started back up at school. So I knew some stuff that the kids were lined up for that I had to do. So I looked at the day and then I was like, okay, I mean, we eating out lunch and dinner.
That's it.
We are eating out for lunch and dinner. I'm not going to be in here stressing out about cooking. Okay, somebody listening is laughing. They know cooking ain't my ministry. I'm just saying sometimes I pick up little frozen things that I can put together at home. So when I say cook, that's what I mean. But I was even with it. I'm not about to, do that and be stressing about getting it. We will pick up some food on the way. I will pick up your lunch on my way home. And then when we leave from this workout or practice, whatever you have, I will pick up some food when we leave from there. And I've taken that off. And the more you do it, it just becomes freeing. I'm like, I don't have to have my hands on everything. The last episode with Carlos, you need to go listen. This is not me being a bad mother. Jordan and I, because Jordan's about to be 15, which is yes. And that's my girl. Like we lay down, we talk all the time. Having said that, she goes to school with Carlos. I don't keep up with her grades. You at school with your daddy. Why he at the school and I'm keeping up with that? I don't know. He can keep me. He told me the other day because I said you keep sending group messages about stuff she needs to do. Why do you have me in this thread? He's like, I want to keep you in the loop. I don't need to be in the
loop. Thank you. Take care.
He's at school with you. Now the agreement we had is I'm over the twins' work. 2 second graders. That's enough. And I stay on top of that. But I don't cross that line. Doesn't mean I don't care. Now she's writing a paper for English. She asked me something today. She was writing a paper. Yeah, I can help you with stuff like that. I'm not going to turn her down. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not putting that stress on myself to let me keep up with everybody. Your father works at that school. He works there. Why do both of us need to? He'll have the nerve to tell me sometimes I'll ask a question about something with sports. You didn't see the message I sent? Sir, I have the perk of having you. I don't read those group messages. So I'm not going to commit to reading those. I will ask you every morning, what time does this happen? And then you can tell me. But just learning to again, not put everything yourself and then making time for me. Now, I do have a certain time at night where I put everything down and they know, and they get so excited. We come in, we gonna wild out. They gonna wrestle with Carlos. We gonna do some stuff. We spend good time together, but the time that we spend together is good because I'm full.
There you go.
I'm not depleted. I'm not running, trying to do it all. And what I had to realize one day though, Nkeru, for real, I said, when you're little, you get excited about being an adult because you can do what you want to do, right? And then one day I had to say, who told you to do all this?
No, nobody.
Who told you? You are making the decisions. You are responsible for these parameters that you have created. It's me. I had to take it because a lot of times we want to throw it on this. No, it was me. I am taking full responsibility. Carlos never asked me to do those things. The reality is he was like, oh, you want to do it? Cool. Because Carlos been living his best life. You want to do that?
Do you take control? And that's something I had to realize. I wanted to control everything. That's what we want to do. We want to control because we want it a certain way, certain time. We control it. No, let it flow. If it falls, it falls. I mean, but it's okay. Catch it and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But it's a sense of control. And that's why we take on so much.
But if you can let go of that control,
I'm
gonna do the things that need to get done, but that personal time, is there for me every day.
You gotta schedule it
every day. Again, like you said, even if it's like I'm gonna sit down and watch 2 of my shows, I'm gonna read this book, I'm gonna scroll through Facebook or Instagram for personal reasons, nothing dealing with work. Like that's what I'm gonna do just to make that time for myself. But again, realizing all of that stuff, I created that. I created the schedule. I took on all of that stuff.
You did.
Let control and let somebody else help you, or just let some things go. That's where you can find the space to do some of the things that you enjoy. That's how I can shoot all these podcast episodes here in my studio. It ain't perfect. You see my arm going up. People keep trying to come in my studio. Throw my arm up there and block them out. So it ain't perfect. I ain't telling y'all perfection.
No.
I'm just saying, like, I am conscious about making time for me.
You got to.
I don't mean the kids don't try to get me. They come for you. They resilient. They test you. They see if you really ready, but you really want it. But
look how happy you are. Look how happy you are.
Yeah.
You're doing what you love. You took a big risk. So I mean, we can talk about that later, which I'm sure you've shared your story. Look how happy you are. It's just owning your truth. I tell people that all the time. Own your truth.
Yeah.
Just do what makes you happy. Surround yourself with the right energy. Be intentional. I tell people that all the time. Be intentional and be true to who you are. And that's me. If I feel like doing this today, I don't feel like it, and not feel guilty about it. Don't always got to be busy. We're always busy, but you're busy not being productive. You're like, oh, I'm busy doing this, but you look at it, you're like, oh, I'm spent the whole day and I have not done nothing.
Nkeru, look at my last. I don't know if you saw it or not.
No.
Look at my last post. One of my last posts, and I said, stop attaching your value to busyness and burnout.
Woo!
And that was not something I got from somebody else. That was something I knew that was what I had done. Attaching my value to busyness and being burned out.
That's me.
Now I can say I'm a good mom. I'm tired, but child, I done got all of this stuff done for him. No, I done got Cam here, Peyton here. I did this for Jordan. I did this for Carlos. I done made all the beds, washed the clothes. I done cooked the food. I done cleaned the dishes. I done mopped the floor. I done cleaned the bathroom. I'm tired, but look at all the great things you did, though. There it is. And that was where your value was attached. And I'm like, no, that's not my value. My value is in the life experience I create for you. You enjoy your time with me? Do I make you feel good? Do I make you laugh? Do I help you to de-stress?
There you go.
That's my value.
Thank you.
And not just in the world, like for my children. That's my value.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's do that. Well, Nkeru, if you are in the Charlotte, well, not just Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, if you're somewhere in the Charlotte area, you need a realtor. I've had it scrolling the entire time down at the bottom because, look, clarity comes in the door. We professional in these streets. So I got it running across the bottom. That's cool. FronebergerRealty.com. And then, look, watch this. Bam, ID, holla. Well, you can go, if you're listening, and I'm going to have it in the show notes, but it's Froneberg. Is that it? No. Right. No. Froneberger. Then Realty. Realty.
Yes.
That's our Instagram, but then that's also, if you want to go to the website, it's all of that.com. Yeah. So if you're looking for somebody who's going to give you that personalized experience, somebody who's going to care about you and see you more than just, a sale. You heard what she said. She don't even take a whole bunch of people. So you might have to go on the waiting list. But if she's who you want to work with, you want a good experience, that might be God saying, ain't time for you to buy this house yet. To buy this house. Nkeru is going to be available and she's going to give you the experience of your life.
You're a mess.
That's what it is. She's going to give you the experience of your life. So if you've been kind of on the fence, shouldn't we? If you contact Nkeru, she's available, it's time to move.
Yep.
If you contact her, she's not available, it's time to pause. You just take a pause, then you answer, and you wait till she calls you back and says she has a spot for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Nkeru, thank you so much.
I thank you. I'm so blessed to have you in my life, girl. I'm telling you, let's do it. I'm so blessed for you.
And I am blessed for you. If ever I need to be hyped up, I know you the person to call. You be making me feel like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm famous. Nkeru blow me up. I'm like, yes, I am the greatest. Yes, me, Jamaica. I'm the greatest. I bring the fire.
You bring the fire. Now you bring the fire.
You're gonna pump me up. Yeah, but seriously, I love you so much, and thank you so much for taking the time out. And I know this is just gonna be super successful. So when you get your spot on a TV show, where they be following people with real estate, just remember me. Just give me a shout out, or let me come along and just let me be standing in the background somewhere smiling.
You're so silly. Okay. I thank you, and like you said before, our conversation matters. I mean, if we don't push each other out there to do what we're supposed to do, I mean, you need motivation. We do. As women, we need to partner up and just motivate each other. Because that's, like you were telling me, my voice helped you. Your voice helped me. Like, hey, let's do it. And sometimes you need that. When you're like, hey, I don't really know if I'm hearing God or not. You're like, okay, here we go. It's around the corner. Let me listen. So I thank you for being who you are. I think, you are amazing. I told you that energy, when I do that energy, I can take over the world. I can do this, but that's what we have going for us. And that is so rare. And, we have created these platforms. I'm so glad that you're doing this, looking for my fit. Like, this is such a need. And I'm glad that you're doing this segment now. Like, girl, anyway.
Yes, well, thank you. I accept and receive all of that. That's that growth, girl.
The realness. I love the realness.
Well, listen, as always, thank you all so much for tuning in, and get ready for another episode coming to you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.